for the past 8 years that I've been making soft plastics, I've used a lot of different molds, and I want to start a new bait making series on this channel. So that's kind of where we're starting today, with $100 budget in molds. We're going to start with stone molds and work our way up all the way to aluminum molds. And that's kind of what we're going to talk about on today's video. We're going to break down the pros and cons of each mold, and at the end of it, we are going to make a classic zoom green pumpkin and show you what each of these molds look like. What's going on, guys? Steven Turner with Crappie Man Jigs here. Now we're just going to dive right into this. We're not going to sugarcoat it or anything. The cheapest mold that you could possibly buy when you're first starting soft plastics is a stone mold. Now this is a stone mold that you can get from baitmold.com. This is a 3.6 toad. Now I actually have about 5 of these molds. It makes this is a replica of the rivet style toad mold, and personal use I do use this mold, but as a production, stone molds are not in my wheelhouse to be able to want to do all the time. Now the biggest issue with a stone mold is they're cheap. You can buy these around $10 to $15 a piece. So if you're on a real tight budget and you want a different types of lures that you want to make, a stone mold is still a great option to begin with. Now in order to use a stone mold, you do need some type of oil. I use mineral oil, and you can also use PAM or just some kind of oil that you have to rub your mold down with every time you want to shoot, because if you don't, the plastic is going to stick to the mold, and sometimes they're really aggravating to get back out the mold. So that stone mold, you can get stone molds on Amazon, baitmold.com. You can find them anywhere from 10 to 50 bucks depending on the size and what style of bait that you want to make. Like I said, if you're doing this as a hobby, those are great options to get into bait making. So if you want a stone mold, by all means get one. So the next option, now this is an option if you don't have an injector, you just want to make some baits or whatever, is a hand pour mold. Now Angling AI does have 2 hand pour molds that are around 30 bucks each. This is their 5-inch fluke mold. I believe this one runs $35 on their website, anglingai.com. And they also have a crawfish mold that I think is $22. Now hand pouring is a lot different than injection as far as skill. You could make this the most beautiful bait in the world, or you can have a lot of frustration. The best way to hand pour is to have a griddle. You want to preheat your mold. There's a lot of technicality that comes with hand pouring. Now in today's video, I'm just going to do a rough pour just to show you the process and see if that's something that you would enjoy doing. Now we've got the $10 to $20 range, we got the $20 to $40 range in these 2 molds. That's the stone mold and the hand pour Angling AI mold. Your next option around 40 bucks is a do it mold. Now these are cast iron molds, I believe. There's some kind of cast. The material that this mold is made out of, it is not aluminum. Now these are really cheap, they're easy to use, and they're very beginner friendly. The only issue that I'll show you whenever we make our baits here in a little bit is these baits do not come out as shiny, or like they just don't look as good as an aluminum mold. But we will cover this. You can get these for $39.99 on a couple websites. One of the pros of this is you only need 1 clamp right here at the front. You can double clamp it if you want, but really you only need 1 clamp at the front because it does have this hinge. Now another budget friendly option is, there's a guy on Amazon called Bess_NJ. It's got like a little fish on it. This is a Zoom Fluke replica, and this mold runs about $60. It makes 2 flukes and one shot. And if you're, like I said, if you're doing personal baits, this is a great budget options. I use this mold to make my own flukes. I don't sell these flukes, but I do, you know, use them. So we're going to be shooting that one, and then you got about, you know, to that $100 range. And my favorite $100 mold is the Epic Bait Molds 1.5 inch paddle tail grub. This mold shoots 10 baits at a time. I think it is $105 on their website. I've been making this bait for years, and I'll be the first one to tell you, Epic Bait Molds and Angling AI are probably where you want to be. Hand pours, Angling AI, injection, Epic Bait Molds, 100%. 100%. And now, what I didn't cover is the Amazon one is aluminum, the Epic Bait Molds is aluminum, and the Angling AI is aluminum. Now, aluminum is going to make your baits shiny, they're going to make them crisp, they're not going to stick to your mold. The cast iron one, they don't really stick to that either, so you'll be fine with that one. And Dewitt's got a lot of great options for different kinds of baits. They got beaver style, crappie style, swim baits like this one is, etc. You just have to shop around, but you can definitely get a couple molds, especially if you go the stone mold route. If you just want to make, say you want to make beaver baits, frog baits, a worm even, definitely a stone mold. If you just want to make some baits, go with a stone mold. So now we've kind of covered our budget options. We're going to shoot a couple of these, and I'm going to show you kind of the differences between the molds and how to do everything. We're just going to make a classic Zoom green pumpkin, which is 40 drops green pumpkin and 1 cup of plastisol and some black flake. That's all we're doing. So I'm going to heat up 2 cups of plastic, and we'll get to doing all these molds real quick. Alright, so we got our plastic heated up. Now, like I said, we're going to add about, I don't know, 50, like 60 drops. So let me do that real quick. Alright, now this is Lure Works, if you're wondering. Lure Works green pumpkin is the closest thing to Zoom green pumpkin that I've found. Now we're going to add about a quarter of a tablespoon of black flake, and that'll be your green pumpkin. Simple as that. Now we just gotta mix this up. A lot of the easier colors, I mean, a lot of the popular colors are still pretty dang simple to do. So as you can see, we got our molds clamped up. We got the toad mold, we've got the fluke mold, we got the Epic Bait swim baits, and we do have the hand pour. Now I am going to pour this cold, so it's not going to look as good as it would if I heated it up on the griddle and all that stuff. Just throwing that out there. And I did not vacuum chamber the plastic. We will be going over all that in the next coming week, so make sure you subscribe to the channel. So let's see. I don't think I'm going to be able to inject everything with that injector, so we'll grab the big one. And I will be making a video about, well, when we cover how to actually make soft plastic and all that, I'll be going over the injectors and all that. But for this video, we're just kind of going over the budget molds, because you got to buy molds before you can worry about making plastic. So we'll go ahead and inject this. Start over here on the Zoom fluke mold. This is a $60 mold on Amazon. Just hold pressure for a couple seconds, let off, fill up the cavity. And we'll do this toad stone mold. Hold pressure, let off, same thing, fill up that cavity. Then we'll go to this Dewitt swim bait mold. This one actually has 2 ports, so I think it makes 5 baits at one time. So go ahead and hit both of these. Just like that. Then we'll hit this 1.5. Then we want to go back through and fill up any of our ports, because as plastic cools, it shrinks. And you can get air bubbles and all kinds of stuff if you don't make that sprue as full as you possibly can. now we'll set that to the side, let it cool. Put these over here. I'm gonna switch my glove around to grab this cup. Now, like I said, this is a cold pour. We'll move this so maybe y'all can see a bit better. So now we're just gonna quickly pour this fluke. Like I said, this is a $35 mold. Hand pouring just takes a steady hand. And you don't want to go too fast. I don't want to let it work for you. The hardest part about this fluke mold is getting that tail all the way full. I'm actually going to tilt this just a little bit, try to fill in that tail. It doesn't have to be perfect for this video. Like I said, when the mold's hotter, it's a lot simpler to do. All our molds injected, and now we're just going to start demolding, and I kind of just want to go over everything. So this one's probably going to take the longest to cool off, so we'll put it over there. Take the clamp off. Now, the best place to get clamps, in my opinion, if you want this type of clamp, is Harbor Freight. I think they're about $5 a piece. So this is the $65 mold from Amazon, the Zoom Fluke mold. So we'll take it out. And I mean, this mold just does a fantastic job of shooting flukes. Perfect Zoom green pumpkin flukes. Now this is the $10 toad mold, the one that you have to oil every time you use it. Now as you can see, these baits are not as shiny as this, but perfectly, I've caught a lot of fish on this bait. Perfectly fine. And then we've got these two. This is the, so my camera died when I was doing that. So this is the Epic Bait Molds 1.5s. Like I said, this is I mean, Epic Bait Molds has got probably the best damn molds you can buy. Alright, this is the Do It Ripper mold, 3-inch ripper. Now on this one, we're going to see the difference in quality. Of what how shiny and everything they are. Now you see how dull that is compared to, say, an aluminum mold. How shiny that is and how dull this is. Now there is a little bit of flash on this, but really you just take your fingers and rip it off. But 3-inch grub style swim bait, definitely a fish catcher. And you've got the 5-inch fluke compared to it. So that is a $65 mold versus a $40 mold. And then we've got the hand pour, which, like I said, this is not preheated, so that tail did not fill up, and I mean, I didn't do as good of a job as I could have, but definitely comes out just like that. And there's you a fluke with a hook slot in it, and that is pretty much the budget options for all this. So we've got a $100 mold, makes just, you know, perfect baits almost every time. Epic Bait Mold, that dude knows what he's doing. We've got a $65 mold here making the flukes. We've got a $40 mold making the ripper. We've got the $35 mold hand poured flukes, which you can customize, man. You can make these things look amazing. And then we have the toad, which is right here. We'll take the sprue off that so you can see it. Nice. The only problem with this mold is that stone mold is really hard to get the tips of these to fill in right. I don't have any affiliation with any of these mold companies. That's kind of why I have a lot of different molds. Now, I do personally love Epic Bait Molds because they're local to me. I've met the owner, I've talked with the owner. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to buy an England AI mold, because I enjoy what it looks like and all that. Now, if any mold company is watching this and you want me to showcase your mold in a video, by all means shoot me an email, we'll talk it out. I'm gonna try to do these every Tuesday, something about bait making. You know, I do a lot of stuff. I make spinner baits, I do hand-tied crappie jigs, I do a lot of crappie stuff, a lot of bass stuff, and I just feel like I have knowledge that needs to be passed on. So subscribe if you haven't subscribed before. Like I said, we're going to be doing a lot of these. I'm hoping it's a good series. I'm hoping they get some decent traction. So smash that like button for me, and I'll catch you on the next one next week.